who started last match in between the sticks, left the side earlier this morning, or to call up to the U.S. U18 men's national team. They're competing at the UEFA Friendship Cup from the 30th of May to June 11th in Switzerland. They'll have group stage matches against France, Argentina, and Australia, but the goalkeeper unavailable here today means Kai Zaroon is brought in for his first appearance of 2025. Marches as center back, Britton Fisher slided along to Anderson Ferris. Under the pressure of Elumi. To Zaroon. Fisher sprays a pass forward, a speculative ball that will creep out of play for a throw in. 2 minutes down. It's the 6th meeting all time between these two teams. Referee signaling for a free kick, pushing it backwards. They last met here. It was the home side that won 2-0. Home sides have enjoyed a significant edge. The only time a point has not been gained by the home team was on May 21st, 2022, but that was still 2 points gained by Minnesota. The home teams have won the other 4 meetings, so it bodes for good reading for Minnesota. We deal with this move to the far side of the field. A dangerous ball between the lines. Aiming for the run of Elumi. It's good defensive work by Britton Fisher. Out for a goal kick for Zaroon to take. Fisher again with a long ball forward. That one took a hop up. There's appeals for handball. They go unanswered. Near side, Chandler, the fullback overlapping, drops a good pass into the box. First touch out of the feet, fired across, blocked. Hilly trying to create some chaos. Called a shot. It's the first save of the match made by Milosevic. Through the midfield. Quickly back. Studious defensive work from Chandler. Under pressure, though, from Coupland. They want a free kick. They won't get it. A little stretch defensively now as Hilly gets this. Hilly has a shot and it goes just wide. Not a half bad effort from Luke Hilly. On the hunt for his first professional goal. He's not too far off with this effort. Left-footed shot just curling a little bit away from the post. Flipped forward by the Whitecaps. Flicked along by Pierre. Combines with his center forward partner, Elumi. Good hold up play as his shirt's being tugged. Into the channel. Georgievich. Strong challenge put in. Referee points to the ball. We'll point to the left now. It was a clean challenge right at the edge of the 18-yard box. Had to be. It's cleared away, out for a throw in. Chance to commit some numbers forward. It's the right back, Nikola Georgievich, in his 7th start of the season. Already 1 goal, 3 assists. He was involved at SMU, 2 goals, 12 assists across 38 appearances. Claimed there by Zaroon. Captain as a senior, Georgievich was. Both of these teams bringing in a mixture of players from the college game to give a nice contrast of personalities, play styles, and playing experience for these next pro groups. Mark O'Neill, Jackson Castro, 2 more for the Whitecaps. Coming from the college game. Luke Hilly, who's had a few moments. He's in the 18-yard box now, coming out of UNC. In the 18-yard box, just lofted into the area, nodded down, edge of the 18. Chance now for Kalev. Has a shot, and it's saved by Milosevic. Not a bad effort from Kurt Kalev. Rather central as he returns to the starting lineup. His first goal came as a free kick. One of the 2 goals they scored against St. Louis City wasn't enough in a 3-2 defeat 2 matches ago, back on May 18th. But Kalev, last 2 years at Rutgers, the 2 years before that at Syracuse. Another one of those collegiate players we've touched on. Experienced groups. Slightly older in some areas. This has moved along. Dangerous ball, aiming for Georgievich. All the way back to Zaroon. Good flick on one by Hilly. No one there to attack the second ball. Throw in. Minnesota. Mubin Noor will be taking this one. Near side for Chandler. Kieran Chandler rolled back by Kabia. Return to the midfielder. Able to get his head up. Slide one along. A chance to play a ball over the top. Second ball falls for Hilly. Turns, rolls it. Martinez. Chandler. Past one challenge. Into the 18. Second one. Able to get a toe in. Second ball there, won by Kabia. Too strong on the challenge, goes all the way out for a goal kick. Milosevic sprays one forward. Noor gets caught out by the bounce, tugs a little bit of jersey. After he was playing advantage for a moment, advantage was gone. There's frustration there from Anderson Ferris. Wanted a transition moment, but his teammates stopping a transition moment is what cancels it out. They'll retake the free kick from the spot of the infringement. Fisher. Zaroon. Here's Fisher. Bit of friendly fire there between teammates for the Whitecaps. Turned over. Kabia. See Chandler constantly offering that overlap option coming from fullback. Good footwork to dance through a few challenges. Koloff, his pass not up to the standard of the dribbling move. Dangerous ball over the top. The flag stays down. A good drop of the shoulder, generating a chance. Parried away by Zaroon on the shot from Johnny Silamani. Did well to stay on side. Skips past Noor, gets it onto that left foot. It's a little at Zaroon. You'd expect him to parry that one away, but a strong two hands denies the shot. First one of the match from the Whitecaps, too. Castro whips one in. Nodded along, pushed away by Ferris. Chases down the loose one. Return to Ferris. It's good work here on the counter. So far from Minnesota. Numbers forward. What can they do with them? Martinez near side. Trying to generate the angle. Flag goes up. It was offside. Would not have counted. Saidi went too soon on his move. It was a good shot. Strong shot. Drew a good save from Alexander Milicevic, and we can see it again here. Just watch his run. Did he go too early? He may not have gone too early. That may have been a real tight call. Assisted on the far side of the field. Had it as offside. Kabia flicks it along only as far as Georgievich. Noor under a bit of pressure, gets ahead to it, but the flag goes up for offside. Another close offside call, just goes the other way. Koloff, his pass turned over. Really good work by Martinez to respond quickly to the turnover. Won it back for Minnesota. Between the lines, Martinez. That's a strong challenge. Clean one. Flicked along by Pierre. It's going to squirm positively for Coupland. Onto his left foot, a curler, and it's just wide of the post. He's got his head in his hands. That was not too far away. An absolute belter to open the score here in the 15th minute. Started with a huge challenge from Aiden Martinez. Good work by Elumi to just make something happen. And Coupland moving it onto his left foot. Just can't wrap it around and find that bottom corner. Throw-in going the way of Minnesota. This portion of the match is brought to you by the experts at Allina Health, an altogether better kind of healthcare. Learn more at allinahealth.org. Booming pass upfield. Knocked down by Silamani, turned over to Noor. Pierre steps onto it. Rolled over the top. A lot of jersey being pulled there by both sides. That official, Ryan Farrell, takes a whistle for a foul going against Minnesota and Issa Saidi. Great pass along. Knocked home. A great move here. Tees up Nelson Pierre for yet another goal. He's up to 9 on the season after Ryan Elumi picks him out perfectly for a first assist in Next Pro. This is not the first goal in Next Pro for Pierre. What a run. What a ball over the top to just stretch the defense. And those are just two center forwards combining to big effect. Elumi tees up Pierre. And Pierre makes it 1-0, Whitecaps 2. Play resumes. Back to Kaiserun. Minnesota have to respond. A goal down here. Coming off a 1-1 draw, it curbed back-to-back defeats, a return to points for Minnesota. And the estimations of Jeremy Hall felt it was an improved performance after both St. Louis City and North Texas. In terms of result, of course, but also just what he saw from his team. They conceded early in that match, the 25th minute. Peter Grogan got the scoring started. Alyssa Randall able to equalize in the 65th. They'd go on to lose the shootout, but coming from behind in their last match to earn points. Squeezing through a crowd. A chance for a shot from distance. Took a deflection along the way. May have taken some sting out of the shot. Zaroon claims it. Martinez, his touch, trying to turn into space, was a little heavy. Chandler pressing the loose ball, not quite able to get there. Good challenge from behind by Chandler. Left along to Hilly. Here's Luke Hilly. Few options with him. He slows things down. Luke Hilly, a shot also for him to take one towards goal. Took a deflection along the way. Spins out for the first corner for Minnesota now, our match. No real options presented themselves in this move for Luke Hilly. Took a deflection, spun along the way, out now for a corner kick. Kieran Chandler, 3 assists in just 5 Next Pro appearances this season. 2 years with UConn at the collegiate game. It's been a big impact so far this year. His in-swinger is dangerous. Punched away by Milosevic, who was fouled. And there's going to be a free kick inside the 6-yard box for Whitecaps 2. Georgievich pushes one upfield. That's going to be a foul in the midfield. The header was won by Mark O'Neill, but illegally done so. With a little too much zeal. Play resumes with a free kick. Chandler. Kieran Chandler puts one into the box. Flicked along, saved by Milosevic. Closed the door and denies the point-blank header, trying to open the scoring. Brilliant movement from Hill. He just drives himself into that space between the center backs. And it's knocked away by the knees of Alexander Milosevic. Chested down by Chandler after a ball by him into the box. Pierre, a header, flicks it along. Ferris. Chandler stayed forward, the fullback did. Ferris. Kabia. There's Ferris. Martinez. Saidi blocked off that pass. It's back now to Kabia. Chandler rolls one for the underlapping run. Martinez can't get there in time. Good defensive work from the captain, Mark O'Neill. Sees it out for a goal kick. This portion of the match is brought to you by Allianz Life Insurance Company of North America, proud worldwide insurance partner of the International Olympic and Paralympic Committees. The foul from behind. Coupland bowling over his opponent. Chance to clip one over the top. Header won by O'Neill. Kabia. Here's Kabia. Moves it along. Far side of the field, nor able to latch onto it. Rolls it back infield for Casillas Lopez. This one spins awkwardly. No nonsense clearance from Georgievich. Be a foul and a yellow card. First one of the match goes the way of Jackson Castro.
Yellow card caution issued to Whitecaps number 44, Jackson Castro, the 26th.
Jackson Castro booked there. It's in a free kick and a chance to toss some numbers forward. Confirmation of that yellow for Castro in his 12th start of the season. After a long career at Creighton. Knotted across frame, no nonsense from Dalen Valios. It'll be Kieran Chandler again, who will take an in-swinger from that far side of the field. delivery on that last corner from him. Into that 6-yard box. Milosevic punched it away as he was being fouled. Again, he has to climb, and again, he does well under the pressure. Pushes it out. Throw-in is the verdict. Chandler launches one into the box. It's out for a corner kick. Kurkolov will be taking this corner. Delivery towards the back post. He's been a magnet. Milosevic again claims a corner. Deliveries maybe left a little bit to be desired. The goalkeeper making his 6th start of the season. Continues to step up on these set-piece moments. Georgievich. Also Chandler now. Kurkolov. Taken away from his foot. Carson Rasak, who plays that back. He's making his professional debut. Haven't mentioned him yet in the broadcast here a half hour in. Joined the Whitecaps Academy back in August of 2023. Been with the club for almost 2 years now. Makes his first appearance for Whitecaps 2. Now it's swung along to this near side. Georgievich. Here's Anderson Ferris. Center back going on a little voyage upfield. Rolls it along to Chandler. Ferris will stay forward, try and stretch this defense. Kurkolov. A lot of good movement here from Minnesota. The attack breaks down. A good tackle put in by Dalen Velios. And stepping across to block the clearance upfield. Kurkolov. A bit of personal sacrifice. Blocks that challenge. Good touchdown by Hilly. He can't find a teammate though. Rasak, it's pushed upfield. Kabia. This portion of the match is brought to you by Target. Target is here for the love of the Lions. Georgievich slides one through the midfield. What a tackle from behind. There's no nonsense defending. Wasn't necessary in the end. The flag went up for offside, but Carlos Casillas Lopez could not be aware of that as he dove in against Elumi. Slightly offsides was Ryan Elumi. Good tracking back from the midfielder in any event. Just past half hour here. There's been a few chances for both teams. Best one by far being Nelson Pierre, scoring his 9th goal of the season. There's fantastic positioning from the center forward. Won't be the hardest finish he'll have this season. They don't always have to be challenging ones. They count all the same. Whether you're crashing them in from 30 yards out or just knocking one home. That one that he knocks home makes him the joint leading scorer in MLS Next Pro with Yusuke Nome of Tacoma Defiance. That's going to be a foul, free kick. Chance for Vancouver to restart play here. Delivered into the box. No nonsense from Chandler. Did Zaroon keep it in play in the box? He did both of those things. Good work from the goalkeeper, who rolls it back into action. That's going to be a challenge from behind, and Issa Saidi is going to be the first player for Minnesota who is booked. Joins Jackson Castro. A little bit of jersey pulled there, a little too much, trying to challenge from behind. Saidi, 16-year-old Zambian forward. It's his 7th appearance of the season. Made his professional debut in the season opener on March 14th at Austin FC2. Very high on him, his potential that he has for this group. Forward, options in white, inside the 18, driving forward. The shot goes wide. Elumi just couldn't get one on target to test Zaroon. Not half bad, though. We'll see him receive this in a wide space, very far up the field. Slows down his dribble and then accelerates. Gets past Noor. It was always going to be a challenging one to try and sneak through that crowd, but he couldn't put it on frame. Didn't test the crowd. Kabia. Here's Castro. Sprays one forward. Dropped into the channel. Silimani gets there, can deliver, flicked along. The shot, point blank block. Put in their body on the line, able to make the important intervention after Elumi brought it down. Here's Saidi. Bounces back kindly for the forward. It's going to be a throw-in for Minnesota. We can look again at this vital intervention. It was Chandler. There was appeals for handball. It was half-hearted. He did well there. Just put that arm into his body. And when it's up tucked against your chest, there's really nothing the referee is going to ever call there. You're allowed to have arms. You can't use them to make yourself unnaturally bigger. Nothing unnatural in that motion from Chandler, who whips one into the box, aiming for the back post. The header comes along. It's a good one, returned to Chandler at the end line. It almost turned into a shot, and it results in a corner kick. Forced Milosevic into getting a low right hand down. I felt it may have gone out of play before it got towards him. Chandler whips one into the box. Martinez, past one challenge. Aiden Martinez can't get that one through a crowd. Maybe a chance to drive some numbers forward, including Nelson Pierre. He's one-on-one. Kabia. Pierre goes down. Referee, you can see him wag that one away. Pierre in some discomfort, slow back to his feet. Referee did not believe it was enough to rise to be a foul. The referee will stop play as looks like Pierre is still down. So as Pierre gets attended to, let's see again what this coming together with Kabia. Looks like that left hand gets up as it came along and ended up catching him in the left shoulder. May have caught him in the face along the way. Kabia gets onto it. That's going to be a foul by Hilly. He thought he was fouled. In the end, he's whistled for the infringement against Mark O'Neill. Final minutes of our first 45. 6 shots apiece for the two teams. A few corners as well. There's been chances. Nelson Pierre, the goal that separates the sides here at National Sports Center Stadium in Blaine, Minnesota. First teams will meet in a really high-powered clash in the Western Conference. First and third in Major League Soccer. That match gets going 7:30 Pacific time, 9:30 Central, 10:30 Eastern. Available on MLS Season Pass, as is every Major League Soccer match here this 2025 season. Velios under a bit of pressure, sprays one forward. Chandler into the midfield, flips it along to Knorr, his opposite fullback. He can't bring it under his spell. It's out for a throw in. Fisher gets there first. Chandler. That's going to be a foul against Hilly. Kirkkolov will leave it. Anderson Ferris. Chandler on a deep set piece, clips one into the box. Strong, no nonsense header away. Silamani. Knorr gets the ball, but there was a foul in the process. And that's going to be a yellow card. Dished out there for Muba Knorr. Right back booked for kicking the ball away, delaying the restart. 2 yellows now for Minnesota, 1 for the Whitecaps.
Yellow card caution issued to NFC 2's number 85, Muba Knorr, in the 41st minute.
Aiming for Pierre. Fisher there first. Flag goes up against Nelson Pierre. free kick. Call of. Chandler wins it back on the left foot. His shot saved by Milosevic. Ends up falling on it. See again, Chandler just fire this one out of his feet. Good touchdown by Georgievich. Tosses with Chandler. Whitecaps throw in. Great strength shown. Elumi squares it across. Can't pick out Pierre. He thought he was fouled, reaching for that one at the back post. And in the end, it's going to be a foul, does it appear to be, against the Whitecaps. Certainly wasn't offside. Let's see this play again. Elumi shows great strength to drive this one into the box, squares it across goal. And it looks like when Pierre reaches to shoot forward, he steps on Mubanor. Now, Pierre was appealing that he was pulled back while he tried to reach for it, and Mubanor has paid the biggest price. He's down in some pain inside the net. Ryan Elumi trying to pick up another assist already today. Long roll over the top from Dalen Valios, slashed onto by Elumi. Squared it across for Nelson Pierre. That was how the first goal came about. Would have been a long throw into Elumi that was almost steered home by Nelson Pierre. So a similar script could have been on the cards for goal number 2. Just not quite able to be pulled off. Pierre reaching for the ball, only caught his opponent. Take into 3 minutes of stoppage time. As Mubanor is getting some treatment here. Confirmation of it there. So it's a pause right before halftime as Mubanor gets some treatment done. They'd love to see him get to halftime. See if it's the kind of injury that a few extra minutes can let him get cleaned up, feel a little better. Just before halftime, a pause in the action. 57% possession for Minnesota in the first 45 minutes to this point. 7 shots to the 6 of Vancouver. 5-1 corner advantage for Minnesota. So a slight, if not large, statistical edge. Some of the underlying numbers. But of course, the biggest moment, the best chance of the match, going the way of the Whitecaps and Nelson Pierre. Mubanor back up, but not moving very quickly. He'll be taken off here. They'll hope for the best for Mubanor, who just looked like he was caught by the reach from Nelson Pierre. Kisa Kingi will be the player who will come on for Mubanor. Kingi, 6 appearances, all of them starts, coming from the college game. Spent 4 years with Cornell, 7 goals, 8 assists. Picked up his first goal on his debut at Austin earlier on this season. But Kingi, who comes into the match now. So we'll likely get several more minutes as we resume play. We've had all 3 of the extra time, haven't played any of it. Hearing likely around 5 minutes left in this first 45. Hilly got a touchdown. It's a challenging spot to come into the match for Kingi. Towering header pushes it out of play. Talked about the lack of goals on the season in the starting 11. The lone goal was from Kurt Kaloff, rather. That was a free kick he scored 2 matches ago. He was the only player in the starting lineup who had a goal so far this next pro season, with the absences of Loic Massanvi, Darius Randall, and Logan Dorsey, who between them account for 8 goals. Coming off the bench now is Kingi, who has 1 goal so far this season himself. Chandler. Hilly presses it all the way back to Milosevic. Long ball forward, header won by Fisher. And Lumi. Referee was playing advantage. Advantage was gone. Kieran Chandler, who had reached in to try and win it back in the midfield, reached a little too far. Commits the foul. It's a free kick. Ryan Farrell, only one who will know truly how much more in this first half we have left in us after the injury for Mubanor. Paused proceedings at the beginning of stoppage time. Georgievich, great touchdown, trying to swing it along to the back post. His target was maybe Pierre. It's kept back alive. Pierre fighting for it, and he commits a foul from behind, fighting for the loose ball. That will do it for our first 45 minutes. 52 minutes of it. With all that stoppage time tacked on, Nelson Pierre, the goal that separates the 2 teams. Our score at the half, it's Minnesota 0, the Whitecaps 1. We'll be right back with a full halftime show after our first break.
If I got it, then I bought it. Take a bite, 'cause I want it. And I know I got the taste for the cake. And I take what I make and I flaunt it, flaunt it. Got diamonds on my necklace. I live how I like. So it looks is getting reckless. I'm feeling myself and you can't break my vibe. I'm feeling myself and you can't break my vibe. You can't break my vibe. You can't break my vibe.
Action.
Back in Blaine, Minnesota, where a Nelson Pierre goal separates the sides at halftime. The Whitecaps up a goal to nil. First half highlights and a look at our upcoming schedule are coming up later on. But first, April Marie Aguilar took a trip up north to North Carolina to visit with U.S. Soccer Hall of Famer and North Carolina native son Eddie Pope.
Thank you for joining me. I'm April Marie Aguilar here in High Point, North Carolina at the brand new state-of-the-art facility, the Go Forth Elite Performance Center with Carolina Core FC. And today I'll be speaking with a legend, Eddie Pope. How are you doing today?
I'm well, thank you for having me.
Yes, thank you so much for joining me. But I want to mention, with the club in its second season, how do you continue to push the envelope in order to achieve the desired result?
It's just working every day, working hard every day, making sure the players are working hard every day. I'm trying to make sure that we look a little bit before, a little bit beyond, the next day and the next day, try to have a little bit of a vision, setting goals that are out in front of us, trying to achieve those goals, making sure the players are achieving those goals, as well as the coaching staff.
Mm-hmm. And how does the mind of a former U.S. soccer legend translate to that of CSO?
I think just for the most part, just trying to make things better than I had them. So I'm thinking about all the little bit of pitfalls that I may have gone through, whether that's on the field or off the field, trying to make things easier for players, try to give players advice on the field. So sometimes it is putting on the cleats and going out and trying to disseminate the information that I had as a player and moving that on to them. Those are some of the major ways. And then obviously trying to perform at the best of my ability as a CSO, as sometimes a coach, but then making sure that they have something like this, a training facility where they can apply their trade.
So I'm told you're the first to arrive and the last to leave. How does that level of commitment contribute to the success of the organization?
Yeah, I think just making sure that I'm setting an example for our coaching staff and our players. Sometimes the players leave after me, sometimes they're here before me, same thing with the coaching staff. But I think that something like that can be contagious. I think it's important, especially when a club like this is in the second year. We're just getting started, so we need to make sure that at a minimum we're working as hard as we possibly can.
And I just recently visited the National Soccer Hall of Fame, where you've been inducted. Despite that, you seem like a very, very humble individual. So how does somebody at your level stay so grounded?
For me, I think it's the game humbles you at all times. So the second that a player or anyone becomes a little bit haughty, the game will humble you. On the field sometimes, off the field sometimes, as a CSO, as a coach, where you might lose a game that you should have won. Soccer has a strange way of doing that for everyone.
And earlier today, we had the opportunity to attend practice. I saw you taking some forwards aside and, giving them some pointers. How does somebody with your experience not only instill what you know, but at the same time inspire them throughout the process?
Yeah, I think players are interesting, right? Players, obviously I was a former player. One of the things that they do pay attention to is where you've played, what you've done. So I think, we've, as a coaching staff and myself, we've checked that box. Our players are very attentive. They're like sponges. They like to listen. At the MLS NEXT Pro level especially, that is a developmental league. So players are trying to develop, and it's our job to make sure that we're helping them through that process. So I try to take some of my past experiences, some of the things that I've gone through, like I was working with a forward, so I'm trying to tell him, hey, here are the things that I don't like that forwards do as a defender, and making sure that he understands those, and that those are just options for him to choose from. He's not a robot, but just trying to help him unlock other defenders, and so we try to pull guys aside at times and work with them.
So that's the knowledge that you teach out on the field. What is something that you're instilling in them outside the pitch?
I think so. For us, one of the things that we do have is a player development program where we will teach them how to handle their finances. We have them, our captains and a couple of other players, going through a leadership course through a company that works with the club. Sometimes we'll do some fun things like cooking courses because they're young.
Right.
Most of them are bachelors, so to help make sure they're eating properly when they have the opportunity to cook for themselves. So we try to do some fun things off the field as well. And then I just think tactically, a lot of them are super young. The game changes so quickly that we try to sit down with them and help them understand tactically, not only just the game in general, but especially what we're trying to do.
At this point in time in your career, what is something that you ultimately hope to be remembered for?
That's a good question. I think just someone who worked hard, someone who believed in U.S. soccer, American soccer, someone who's wanted to really help grow the game here. Especially now being in the position that I'm in and helping to develop youth players and push them onward to MLS and hopefully the national team and maybe even other national teams, moving them on to Europe as well, but especially growing the game here in the United States.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much. I appreciate the time.
Thank you so much.
Action.
I know I'm really attractive. I'm hanging on like a fridge to a magnet. It's a jigsaw with all the right pieces. You and me, we go good together. You and I go good together. You and I, we go good together. We go good together.
Our score at the break, it's Vancouver 1, Minnesota 0 after 45 minutes. We're going to look ahead to the league's upcoming schedule in a moment, but first, May is Mental Health Awareness Month, so Real Salt Lake star Diego Luna shared a bit of his journey this season and what he's implemented to stay mentally strong.
Diego, have a good game tonight.
Throughout this year, my performance has not been where it's supposed to be. And I think a lot of that had to do with where my head was at and the things I was dealing with. I started with a therapist. That notebook just has everything we've been working on with my therapist. It has affirmations, breathing exercises, power poses, things to just think about to get your mind in the right place. From there, it's just been it's just been good. Like, I've just felt better. I've been able to just be myself, enjoy the game more, and I think that notebook is going to continue to help me. Of course, I have my affirmations here, and I just read them in order down through the whole page, and there's not really one that, you know, sticks out to you, but it's all just about getting your mind in the right place and realizing how blessed you are and that you're okay no matter what. I have what it takes to create the life I want. I am successful. I am talented. Money flows well in my life. I'm healthy and strong. I'm healing all areas of my life. Everything always works out for the best. Remember to stay positive. Today is a great day for success.
If I got it, then I bought it. Take a bite, cause I want it. And I know I got the taste for the cake. And I take what I make and I flaunt it, flaunt it. Got diamonds on my necklace. I live how I like. So looks is getting reckless. I'm feeling myself and you can't break my vibe. I'm feeling myself and you can't break my vibe. You can't break my vibe. You can't break my vibe.
Action.
Moments away from our second 45 minutes from National Sports Center Stadium in Blaine, Minnesota. Minnesota down a goal to nil against their visitors from Vancouver. Whitecaps FC2 on top. Jack Edwards here with you on MLSNextPro.com. It was a stop-start first 45 minutes. Some chances for both sides. First one here is Luke Hilly, who was able to get it onto his left foot. Bit of venom behind that shot, a little wide, just drags it away from the goal of Alexander Milosevic. A great pass between the lines here is going to tee up a good opportunity. Good work by Selemani to move it onto his left foot. He draws Kai Zaroon into a save. Able to stop that chance there, that half chance really, between the two sides. Nelson Pierre able to get a flick on here. He was involved at a lot of spells in that first half. This one's going to squirm free for Antoine Coupland. Able to get onto his left foot. That's not too far away at all, that curler. This is Dalen Valios. He's a center back or a fullback by trade, playing as a center back. Sprays one forward, some turn, some pass, and the finish does the job. Nelson Pierre knocks home Ryan Elumi's pass across frame. See just a few chances for Minnesota, who were able to create a few half opportunities. Chandler picks out Hilly and draws a good save in the end out of the keeper, Alexander Milosevic. We can look ahead at what's coming up in MLS Next Pro. Match Week 12 begins here today with 2 matches, 3 more coming to you on Friday, starting at 5 p.m. Eastern Time. Red Bulls 2 taking on Atlanta United 2. All the way till Saturday with Tacoma Defiance hosting Minnesota. That's a late match on this upcoming Saturday night before a loaded Sunday slate begins in MLS Next Pro. It's a delay for Whitecaps until their next match. They play next on June 8th. But a loaded Sunday begins with SKC 2 taking on Colorado Rapids 2. Wraps up with LAFC 2 taking on the Town. It's part of a loaded week in MLS Next Pro. This match between the two sides at 10th and 11th in the West. If things stand, Whitecaps will leapfrog Minnesota, move from 11th to 10th, take their spot, and move up to 15 points on the season. Looking for a 3rd win of the regular season. They are here today. This upcoming schedule. Teams are nearing themselves to the second 45. No subs made at halftime. Mubanor was brought off for Kisa Kingi after a challenge from Nelson Pierre left Nor in a bit of discomfort. So there has been one change made by Minnesota, not during the break, just before that interval. You wonder what the halftime discussion is for both of these teams. For Minnesota, they created a few chances you saw in those highlights. You probably call them half chances. Maybe the Luke Hilly header, a bigger chance than just a half chance. But they created some half chances, a little bit more possession than their opponents, who did well to be clinical. You saw how they were able to open up Minnesota and get a lot of space. After getting Nelson Pierre, a guy who has 8 goals already this campaign, at a spot with as much space as he had for his opener, he could be in for some trouble. The Whitekits are Whitecaps too. They'll head from right to left across your screen. Minnesota and the Blackkits, the home side, who got off to 2025 with such a good run of form. 4 consecutive wins, but they're winless in 3, just 1 point picked up in their last 3 matches. Jack Edwards here with you, so excited to bring you the second 45 minutes here this Wednesday evening. The first teams will get going in about an hour and a half or so. You can keep up with that action on MLS Season Pass when we wrap up here in Blaine, Minnesota. That match has impacted availabilities for these teams in some slight ways. Also mentioned in the first half, Kane Rizvanovic with the USA U18s as they go to Switzerland for the UEFA Friendship Cup. So a change in net. Kai Zaroon conceded 1 in his first appearance here of 2025. Made a few saves though. 2 saves to be exact. His side have an early free kick, early chance to just drive one forward. First header won by a Whitecaps head. It comes to Chandler. Clips one into the area. It comes down, able to be put back to Hilly. His shot blocked away. Carving a chance out. Hilly again gets onto it. It's Chandler now. He's swarmed by a few in white. He's forced backwards. Kabia. Kabia. Poor pass from the midfielder. It's intercepted by Silamani. Turned over though. One high up the field. A chance now, a shot, and it's off the upright. Took a flick along the way. Kurt Kalov not too far away at all. All of that is so close. You can see it just kiss the post as it went wide. Got onto his left foot and struck it with some nice bend. Not able to get it properly on target. Chandler turns it over. Throw to restart play. Kolov rolls one. It's a little too central, aiming for Chandler. All the way back to Milosevic. Stooping header by Kingi. Wins it back. Here's Hilly. Kolov. Kabia. His pass too heavy there for Chandler. Kieran Chandler not able to bring it under control. Stats at halftime read 7 shots for Minnesota, 6 for Vancouver, 55% possession for Minnesota, 45 for the Whitecaps. 5 corners as well. So there's been moments, there's been a little statistical dominance. But overall, you'd likely argue the Whitecaps are good value for their lead up to this point in the match. Mark O'Neill plays it to Daniel Rousseau. Intercepted there. And there's numbers forward, including Saidi, who was the option on the far side of the field. Martinez eventually able to get it to the winger. Saidi on the right foot through a crowd. It's blocked. Back to Martinez. Spinning around. Kolov does well. Wins a corner. Making that underlapping run on the feed from Kisa Kingy. Kurt Kolov stands it up to the back post. Milosevic went for it, didn't claim it. It rolls out. Goal kicks the verdict. They wanted a foul against Milosevic. Didn't get it. To settle for the goal kick. 13 points this season for Minnesota, 12 for the Whitecaps. One win in their last 5 for the visitors. Was that heavy 5-0 win over Tacoma, but 3 defeats in their last 5 as well. A shootout win against Real Monarchs gives them 5 points from 5. Trying to bump those numbers up. 7 from 5 are the numbers for Minnesota. 2 of those coming from victories. Kolov outside of the foot to Martinez. Here's Aiden Martinez. Dances past 1. Into the 18. Lays it along for Kolov. Gets past 1. Trying to just squeeze it through another. Can't do so. Cleared away by the Whitecaps. One-way traffic in these early stages of the second half. Ferris. Kabia. Had to be strong in 2 challenges. And comes away with the ball. Saidi. Chandler. Clips it up. It's too central. Milosevic claims, falls on it. Kolov again generates some space, and that shot saved by Milosevic. Kingy. Kabia. Ferris. Fisher. It's a clever idea on the pass. Picks out Kingy. His pass behind his teammate. Pierre is knocked over. Defense appeals. And Kurt Kolov should be booked for kicking the ball away. He did kick it away. He's claiming he didn't wind up fully. He pulled back when he heard the whistle. He gets away with it, if you want to say. There were cynical intentions from the midfielder for Minnesota. Whitecaps free kick, taken by O'Neill. Russo, throw taken quickly, Hilly. Poked away from his feet. Kingy keeps it alive. Fisher brings the ball under some settled possession. Throw-in's the result. Goes the way of the Whitecaps. Daniel Rousseau. Rousseau, fullback, signed a short-term agreement with the first team. May 20th for the match in the Canadian Championship against Velour FC. It's a clever idea to swing it along. A touch there from Chandler. Bounces kindly into his path. Plays it forward. Picks out Saidi. Hilly returns it to Kolov. His pass under hit. Trying to get it along to Aiden Martinez. Out for a throw in. This portion of the match is brought to you by Bell Bank. Switch and see how banking should be. 10 minutes down, our second 45 minutes. Still the lone goal of the match coming from Nelson Pierre. It's really a goal that came out of nothing. That long ball forward, just good work from the center forwards. It's one of those goals that I won't sing songs about, I won't write legends about. They'll get matches won. Saidi, the target of this pass out wide. Trying to see off a challenge from behind, not quite able to, and he just leaves the challenge in there a little late. And Issa Saidi has to be careful. He's on a yellow card. A young winger, just 16 years of age. Dalen Valios may be making that exact point to the referee that hey, he's on a yellow. That was a little naughty of a challenge. But Saidi continue in the match. Wonder if that impacts thinking of Jeremy Hall at all. Turned over, a chance for the Whitecaps now in transition. Pierre can't get it under his control. Rolls out for goal kick. Chandler. Valios gets ahead to it and drops in the midfield. Back to Dalen Valios. Pair of subs being prepared by Jeremy Hall. Great pass over the top. And Lumi has a crack himself. 1 assist today. And he cracks one off the post. So close to getting one himself. Ryan El-Lumi, let's see it again. Driving this attack forward. He had Pierre. He had Zaroon beat, if that one was on frame. So the chance for 2 changes to be made. Cody Schumacher and Babacar Niang will be coming into the match. Carlos Casillas Lopez and Issa Saidi makes way. So Saidi, who was on the yellow, and Casillas Lopez, who was involved in the match, but mostly on the periphery, both come out of the match.
Also late in the game, number 50, Carlos Casillas Lopez. And checking in number 37, Babacar Niang.
Valios. Elumi taken away from his feet. Miscommunication there between Ferris and Chandler. What a turn. Silimani just trying one over the top, a little overhit as Arun gets there. Some turn though to begin that move. Into the midfields. Pierre making life difficult for Kabia. To slide it forward for Kolov. He gets one with the outside of his boot all the way to Hilly. Hilly. It spins kindly. And the shot there from Niang goes over the goal. O'Neal to Valios. A lot of numbers committed forward for Minnesota. Chandler able to intercept the pass, keep it in play. No, he can't. Pierre trying to return the favor to Elumi. He gets there first, rounds the goalkeeper, returns it to Pierre, and they return the connection. 2 goals from Nelson Pierre, 2 assists from Ryan Elumi. Combining to big effect. The Whitecaps up 2-0. Great flick on one, a 2-on-1 generated out of nothing. Elumi stayed on side. And Pierre positions himself perfectly. The shot as well. And he is now the leading goal scorer in MLS Next Pro, the first to double digits. 10 goals this season in 12 matches for Nelson Pierre on loan from Philadelphia Union. And 11 appearances with the Charlotte Independents in 2024 of USL League One. He had 1 goal in all competitions. Up to this point in his professional career, he had 10 goals. And he's matched that with his time in Vancouver. The challenge doubled for Minnesota. What can they pull out here as Niang carries forward? Kingy, an option on the near side. He'll receive it. Kingy delivers. Stooping header, pushes it out. Miscommunication there between Fisher and Ferris, and it means that Britton Fisher is going to knock down Nelson Pierre in transition. Free kick is the result. This portion of the match is brought to you by the experts at Allina Health. An altogether better kind of healthcare. Learn more at allinahealth.org. 2 goals for Nelson Pierre, separating the sides. Valios returns it to O'Neal. If you look at the 2 goals that have been scored by Vancouver, both of them have come from long balls up the field. Just winning those first, second balls and profiting directly from that. Chandler rolls one forward for Schumacher. At the end line, plays it centrally, but Milosevic, who has been so good in between the sticks so far for the Whitecaps, again claims. He's made 5 saves. Elumi. Chandler. Kolov. Hilly. Kolov lifts one forward. Not able to bring it down in the 18. It's cleared away. Ferris. Niang. A guiding pass. Kingy fires one centrally. Chested down. They want a handball in the box. Waved away by the referee. The chance still alive. It's lifted along. Knotted away by O'Neill. Chaos in front of the Whitecaps goal. They hold their nerve. Definitely up against the body from Dalen Valios. Good call from Ryan Farrell, our head official. Things are happening quickly inside the 18, but he was on scene. Kurt Kolov stood into the box. It's going to drop, and there's going to be a foul. Too much pushing and shoving. The referee's liking the foul goes against Britton Fisher, who's tugging back Nelson Pierre. Milosevic picks it up under the pressure of Luke Hilly. Kolov has been very involved. Was he fouled there? No, he wasn't. He may have been looking for that one a little too much for the referee's liking. That's going to be a foul. That's a yellow card for Kieran Chandler. Bringing back his opponent, the fullback, receives a yellow card.
Yellow card caution issued in the UFC 2 number 33, Kieran Chandler, in the 68th minute.
Dropped forward. Pierre trying to complete his hat trick. overlapping run made by Hilly. Good strength, sees off one challenge. Delivers into the box. Pushed up, not away. It comes along, and it's pushed wide by Kolov. It took a deflection along the way. Corner coming. Good work from the forward, Luke Hilly, just to get this one to the end line. Martinez couldn't get a shot and turned into a fortuitous bounce. Right to Kurt Kolov. The shot, though, going wide of frame. And it results in this corner kick. It took a deflection along the way en route. They've had a fair amount of corners, but they haven't been able to really generate a moment of major quality. They go short with this one to the edge of the 18. Chandler returns it. Kurt Kolov given some time to pick his head up, drag it back. Pushed away. Chandler steps in, puts a challenge in. Great work by Ferris. He's tugged there, cynically done by Coupland. And the yellows beginning to flow. 2 apiece for players on the field for both teams. Coupland and Castro for the Whitecaps. Chandler, check that, Sadie and Noor, who are on yellows, both off the field. So 3 yellows for Minnesota, just 1 for players actively on the field. That's for Chandler. Coupland, the most recent to be booked. Whipped in deep into the box. Back in the mix, cushion down. The shot point blank block. The second effort off the crossbar. Is there a third effort? It will be from the spot. A penalty for a handball is given. A lifeline for Minnesota, 12 yards away. Kurt Kolov delivers into the box. This first one blocked. The second one so close to scoring. They appealed for a handball. The referee, who was in great position to see it, points, gives it. And a chance for Luke Hilly. He puts it away. A first as a pro, halves the deficit and puts the home side right in the middle of things with 20 minutes to go. First shot there hit the crossbar. It's the right hand that just comes up and gets a little too much of the ball. Keeper guessed the right way. It's a well tucked away finish from Luke Hilly. Ben Nash will be coming into the match. It's a pro debut for Nash. A debut for the Whitecaps for Nash. His team will have to survive this onslaught, this bounce in momentum. Selemani is the player who makes way for Nash. Played an important role in the second goal, Selemani did. Hilly, the goal scorer, cushions one down. Strong challenge put in. Second one, also clean. Third one, clean. Some good challenges in the midfield from Niang. Nutmeg coming off. Maybe a bit of retribution for the nutmeg as a push from behind by Schumacher. He fouls Georgievich. This portion of the match is brought to you by Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Minnesota. You and Blue, better together. A little over 16 minutes left in this match between the sides. Looked like we may have been in for an easy finish for the Whitecaps. No such thing in this league. Pierre can't quite drag it back. Okay, keep the press going. It's a brilliant pass dropped into the midfield for Schumacher. Fisher to Ferris. Fisher angles one. Over the top. Poked out of play. Last touched by Minnesota. Goal kicks the results. Kisa Kingi unable to keep that one alive. Not fully cleared away. Slide it in was Chandler. Can't quite keep it in play. Great idea. Swings it along to the debutant, Nash. His delivery takes a big deflection. Martinez loses out. Niang drops one over the top. Here's Hilly. One goal already today, trying to provide an assist for a teammate now. Kingi. Martinez. Between the lines. Kingi under hit on that. Kabia. Niang. Able to get a shot off. It's over the goal. Good header won by Kingi. Martinez, call of a few options with him. Pokes it along for Martinez, and the comeback's complete. Tying things at 2-2 is Aiden Martinez. The first for him in 2025. Teed up by Kurt Koloff. And we're all even again in Minnesota. Good work to just slide it along to Martinez. Basically a one-on-one with Alexander Milosevic. Too much of the goal to try and defend. '73rd minute penalty. 78th minute from open play. And Minnesota have made it a game again. Growing into the game as it's gone along. We restart. Jackson Castro, long ball forward. Hilly returning it, trying to find Niang. He's able to move it along to Kingi. Kingi for Martinez. They're full of confidence now. Martinez laying it forward for Niang. Stepping in, kept in play. Not going to be a corner. Kabia. Schumacher keeps this one alive. Throw in here for Minnesota. Throw into the box. Comes along. Kolov had a crack. Ferris thought about 1-2. Dances through a crowd. Keeps the play alive. Moved along to Fisher. Britton Fisher to Niang. Touch gets a little away from him. Kingy. Kolov. Clever pass. Picks out Martinez. Slid out wide. Chandler puts the brakes on. Scoops one up to the back post. Off the post. Kurt Kolov. May have been offside. May have been a foul. Let's see it again. Can't be offside. Watch Kolov come from a deep position and get to it. But that went wide. That's what it did. Did not hit the post. Came back into play so quickly. It looked like it had hit the upright and stayed alive, but all those players in the box wearing white quickly noted, hey, that one went out of play. Should have been a goal kick. It was. And with 10 minutes to go, it's 2-2. You can see Francesco Troisi preparing to come into the match. Kingy. Fisher. Ferris. Chandler. Here's Kolov. Returns it to Chandler. Bounces back to the midfielder. Keeps it in play. Kolov pulls off a nutmeg with the second touch there. A little too heavy. He was trying to go on a wonder run. It's all the way back to Zaroon. Pierre chases after him. Pierre, the 2 goals for the Whitecaps. Only enough to go to a shootout as things stand. Over the top, aiming for Elumi. He gets there. Lays it back. Dragged across. Cleared away. No nonsense. It's out for a throw-in for the Whitecaps. Chance now for that substitution. Troisi will be coming in for Antoine Coupland. It's the second change made by a depleted Whitecaps visiting group. They have just 2 more outfield players. Maxime Kalina and Kyler Void-Vodich. Curled into the box, nodded back into the mix. Pass under hit. Martinez. Great work to get it to Kolov. Kolov. Hilly. He'll make the run centrally. Hilly, can he generate an angle for himself? Advantage played. Nash. Clips it forward for Pierre. Nods it down for Elumi. He's bowled over from behind. It's going to be a foul. It's going to be a yellow card for Kabia. He's frustrated at that call.
Yellow card caution issued MLUFC 2, number 92, Alpha, Kabia, 84 minutes.
A central free kick. Whipped in. Nodded across frame. Hilly. He's knocked over from behind. It's going to be a foul. A free kick comes here. Good header to flick it along. Here's Chandler. He's been so aggressive from left back, coming forward. In this instance, a bit more cautious, and he turns his pass over. One back by the Whitecaps. Pass there intercepted by Ferris. Chandler. Niang. Strong challenge put in by Kabia. Had to be. He's on a yellow. Niang rolls it for Hilly. Trying to put the brakes on and get it onto his preferred right foot. Couldn't quite get there. Great footwork. Now a bit of speed being shown. Kabia can't foul here. He's on a yellow. He shows good speed. He thinks that Georgievich may have gone down a little easily there. It's a throw in for Minnesota. Flicked along by Martinez. Couldn't get onto the end of it. Kolov. Here's Ferris. Fisher. Kolov. Holding off Nash. Cuts it back. Drags it back. The shot over the goal there from Kingy. He'll want it back after great work by Kolov to generate the angle. Nash gets his feet lost, and Kingy, you can see he just leaned back a little too much, got under the shot. Elumi, 2 assists today for the forward. Gets it on to his right, trying to tee up another teammate. Little behind his teammate this instance. Kurt Kolov just climbing too high. Illegally done so. Needs to be stretched out here in the dying minutes of our match. Another set piece chance for the Whitecaps. Delivered into the back post. No nonsense from Kabia. Knocks it out on the delivery from Jackson Castro. It's going to be Castro again who makes his way over for this corner from the near side. Castro delivers to the back post, the header down, point blank, it's knocked home. Daniel Russo just knocks it over the line. The Whitecaps have retaken the lead, trying to avoid a shootout and take all 3 points for themselves. It just falls in front of net. Might be giving an assist to Nelson Pierre. A late sub here. Will Schmidt comes into the match for a 4th sub appearance of the season.
Game number 34, Kurt Kala. And checking in
Kurt
the game,
Kala
number 43,
makes way.
Will Schmidt.
They came from 2-0 down. They were able to make it 2-2, but the Whitecaps responded.
Goal was scored in the 90th minute by number 54, Daniel Rousseau.
Rousseau separates the sides as we enter into stoppage time. Ball over the top. Flag goes up. Offside there was Elumi. 4 minutes added on at the end of this match here today. Tyler Voidvodich will be coming into the match in just a moment. Martinez, the 1-2, doesn't quite come off. Martinez hobbling after it. It's a pass over the top, no one there to run onto it. Play will be stopped. Martinez in some discomfort.
Substitution for Vancouver.
Ryan Elumi will make way. 2 assists for the forward. Tyler Voidvodich comes into the match.
Number 75, Ryan Elumi.
Niang trying to slide it forward. It's pushed away. Throw in as the result. Schmidt able to get on and make things uncomfortable. They've tried this long throw a few times. They're going to push Britton Fisher, a center back. Stands at 6'4", in the area to try and cause some chaos. Chandler flicked along. There's a foul in the box against Minnesota. The Whitecaps can tick off more precious seconds. Niang. Here's Kingy. They want handball. They're going to get it. They'll restart quickly. Moved along to Chandler. Chandler stands it up. Martinez got a chest to it, nothing more. Cleared away. Chandler just knocks one upfield. Hilly can't win that first ball. It comes to Pierre. That's going to be a foul for the Whitecaps. They'll take it past the 4 minutes of stoppage time. But Ryan Farrell says he's keeping track of the time. We may have a little bit more than the additional. It all comes down to that man in yellow. Long ball forward. All the way through, out for a goal kick. Ferris. Fisher. It's turned over, and that will do it for our match. The Whitecaps lost a 2-goal lead, but they regained it in the 89th minute. A brace for Nelson Pierre and a winner from Daniel Russo. Sees out 3 points for the visiting side. Let's look at our man of the match at the end of our game here today. 2 goals for the man of the match, Nelson Pierre. 1 in the first half, 1 in the second. Just opportunistic center forward play on both of them. Gets goals number 9 and 10 on the season. He is your MLS Next Pro Golden Boot leader, with that second goal pushing him to the top of the goal scoring table. Back to winning ways are the Whitecaps with 3 points. They're next up on the road at the Town on June 8th. From Minnesota, they're back at home on the road in 3 days' time at Tacoma in their next MLS Next Pro match. For our entire broadcast crew, I'm Jack Edwards. Once again, our final score, it's Whitecaps 3, Minnesota 2. Don't forget you can watch MLS Next Pro all season long at MLS Season Pass on Apple TV and MLSNextPro.com. Have a great rest of your Wednesday night.
This copyrighted broadcast of Major League Soccer may not be retransmitted, reproduced, or rebroadcast without the express written consent of Major League Soccer.